Excerpt from The Birth of the War God by Kalidasa, 4th or 5th century A.D. Read for LibriVox.org. The Address to Brahma. While impious Tarak in restless might was troubling heaven and earth with wild affright, to Brahma's high abode by Indra led, the mournful deities for refuge fled. As when the day god's loving beams awake the lotus slumbering on the silver lake, so Brahma deigned his glorious face to show, and poured sweet comfort on their looks of woe. Then near came the suppliant gods to pay honor to him whose face turns every way. They bowed them low before the Lord of speech, and sought with truthful words his heart to reach. Glory to thee! Before the world was made, one single form thy majesty displayed. Next thou to body form the mystic three, didst fill 3 persons, glory, Lord, to thee. Unborn and unbegotten from thy hand, the fruitful seed rained down at thy command. From that small germ o'er quickening waters thrown, all things that move not, all that move have grown. Before thy triple form in awe they bow, Maker, preserver, and destroyer, thou. Thou, when a longing urged thee to create, thy single form in twain didst separate. The sire, the mother, that made all things be, by their first union were but parts of thee. From them the life that fills this earthly frame, and fruitful nature self-renewing came. Thou countest not thy time by mortals' light, with thee there is but one vast day and night. When Brahma slumbers fainting nature dies, when Brahma wakens all again arise. Creator of the world and uncreate, endless, all things from thee their end await. Before the world wast thou. Each lord shall fall before thee, mightiest, highest Lord of all. Thy self-taught soul thine own deep spirit knows, made by thyself thy mighty form arose. Into the same, when all things have their end, shall thy great self, absorbed in thee, descend? Lord, who may hope thy essence to declare? Firm, yet as subtle as the yielding air, fixed, all-pervading, ponderous yet light, patent to all, yet hidden from the sight. Thine are the sacred hymns which mortals raise, commencing ever with the word of praise. With 3-toned chant the sacrifice to grace, and win at last in heaven a blissful place. They hail thee, nature, laboring to free the immortal soul from low humanity. Hail thee, the stranger spirit, unimpressed, gazing on nature from thy lofty rest. Father of fathers, God of gods art thou, Creator highest, hearer of the vow. Thou art the sacrifice, and thou the priest, thou he that eateth, thou the holy feast. Thou art the knowledge which by thee is taught, the mighty thinker and the highest thought. End of excerpt. This recording is in the public domain.
How do you find this book? Any thoughts about the book or the author? Any suggestion for improvement? Please take a moment to share your thoughts in a comment. If you like it, share it with your friends who might enjoy it as well. Subscribe to keep in touch. Visit CompleteAudiobooks.com for more quality content.
At a Dance by Agnes de Gruchy. Read for LibriVox.org by Colleen McMahon. My queen is tired and craves surcease of twanging string and clamorous brass. I lean against the mantelpiece and watch her in the glass. One whom I see not where I stand fans her and talks in whispers low. Her loose locks flutter as his hand moves lightly to and fro. He begs a flower, her finger-tips stray round a rose half-veiled in lace. She grants the boon with smiling lips, her clear eyes read his face. I cannot look, my sight grows dim, while fate allots unequally the living woman's self to him, the mirrored form to me. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
At a Window by Carl Sandburg. Read for LibriVox.org by Winston Tharp. Give me hunger, O you gods that sit and give the world its orders. Give me hunger, pain, and want. Shut me out with shame and failure from your doors of gold and fame. Give me your shabbiest, weariest hunger. But leave me a little love, a voice to speak to me in the day, and a hand to touch me in the dark room, breaking the long loneliness. In the dusk of day shapes blurring the sunset, one little wandering western star, thrust out from the changing shores of shadow. Let me go to the window, watch there the day shapes of dusk, and wait, and know the coming of a little love. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Legend of Baboushka by Julia C. R. Dorr. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. The Legend of Baboushka, a Christmas Ballad. There's a star in the east, he cried, Jasper the Grey, the wise, to Melchior and Balthazar, up-gazing to the skies. Last night from my high tower I watched it as it burned, while all my trembling soul in awe and wonder yearned. For I know the midnight heavens, I can call the stars by name, Orion and royal Ashtaroth, and Semma's misty flame. I know where Hesper glows, and where with fiery eye proud Mars in burning splendor leads the armies of the sky. But never have I seen a star that shone like this, the star so long foretold by sage and seer it is. When first I sleepless saw it slow breaking through the dark, nay, hear me, Balthazar, and thou, O Melchior, hark! When first I saw the star, it bore the form of a child, it held in its hand a sceptre, or the cross of the undefiled. Lo, somewhere on the earth it shines above his rest, the royal one, the babe, on mortal mother's breast. Now haste we forth to find him, to worship at his feet, to him of whom the prophets sang, bearing oblations meet. Then the three holy kings went forth in eager haste, with servants and with camels toward the desert waste. Ah, knew they what they bore? Gold for the earthly king, frankincense for the god, myrrh for man's suffering. With breath of costly spices and precious gums of Isis, the desert air was sweet, as on they fared by day and night, Judea's king to greet. The strange star went before them, they followed where it led. "'Twill guide us to his presence," Jasper the holy said. They crossed deep flowing rivers, they climbed the mountains high, they slept in dreary places under the lonely sky. One day, where stretched the desert before them far and wide, they saw a smoke wreath curling a spreading palm beside, and from a lowly dwelling on household cares intent, a woman gazed upon them in mute bewilderment. "Ho, come with us," cried Melchior, and ardent Balthazar. "We go to find the Christ-child, led by yon blazing star. Thou knowest how the prophets his coming long foretold. We go to kneel before him with gifts of myrrh and gold." But she, delaying, answered, "My lords, your words are good, and I your pious mission have gladly understood. Yet I, ere can join you, have many things to do. I must set my house in order, must spin and bake and brew. Go ye to find Messiah, and when my work is done, I will your footsteps follow, mayhap ere set of sun." Across the shining desert the slow train passed from sight. She set her house in order, she bleached her linen white. With busy hands she labored till all at last was done. But thrice the moon had risen, and thrice the lordly sun. Then bound she on her sandals, her pilgrim staff she took, with bread of wheat and barley, and water from the brook. And forth she went to find him, the babe Emmanuel, who should be born in Bethlehem by David's sacred well. All that long day she journeyed. She scanned the desert wide. In all its lonely reaches there was no soul beside, no track to guide her onward, no footprints in the sand, only the vast still spaces wide stretched on either hand. Night came, but where the wise men had seen his burning star, no glorious sign beheld she, clear beaming from afar. Though Orion and Arcturus shone bright above her head, and up the heavenly arches proud Mars his legions led, she did not find the Christ child. 'Tis said she seeks him still, over the wide earth roaming with swift remorseful will. Her thin white locks the dewfall of every clime has wet. In palace and in hovel she seeks Messiah yet. In every child she fancies the hidden one may be. On each bright head she gazes the mystic crown to see. She twines the Christmas garlands, she lights the Christmas fires, she leads the joyful carols of all the Christmas choirs. She feeds the poor and hungry, and on her tender breast she soothes all suffering children to softest, sweetest rest. Attend her, holy angels, guard her, ye cherubim, for whatsoe'er she does for these, she does it as to him. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Babushka by Edith M. Thomas. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. Babushka, a Russian legend. Babushka sits before the fire upon a winter's night. The driving winds heap up the snow. Her hut is snug and tight. The howling winds, they only make Babushka's more bright. She hears a knocking at the door. So late, who can it be? She hastes to lift the wooden latch. No thought of fear has she. The wind-blown candle in her hand shines out on strangers three. Their beards are white with age and snow that in the darkness flies. Their floating locks are long and white, but kindly are their eyes that sparkle underneath their brows like stars in frosty skies. Babushka, we have come from afar. We tarry but to say, a little prince is born this night, who all the world shall sway. Come, join the search. Come, go with us, who go our gifts to pay. Babushka shivers at the door. I would I might behold the little prince who shall be king. But the night is cold, the wind so fierce, the snow so deep, and I, good sirs, am old. The strangers three no word they speak, but fade in snowy space. Babushka sits before her fire and dreams with wistful face. I would that I had questioned them, so I the way might trace. When morning comes, with blessed light, I'll early be awake. My staff in hand I'll go, perchance those strangers I'll o'ertake, and for the child some little toys I'll carry for his sake. The morning came, and staff in hand, she wandered in the snow. She asked the way of all she met, but none the way could show. It must be farther yet, she sighed, then farther I will go. And still 'tis said on Christmas Eve, when high the drifts are piled, with staff, with basket on her arm, Babushka seeks the child. At every door her face is seen, her wistful face and mild. Her gifts at every door she leaves. She bends and murmurs low, above each little face half hid by pillows white as snow. And is he here? Then softly sighs, Nay, farther must I go. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Bracelet to Julia by Robert Herrick. Read for LibriVox.org by Phil Schempf. Why I tie about thy wrist, Julia, this silken twist? For what other reason is't, but to show thee how, in part, thou my pretty captive art? But thy bondslave is my heart. 'Tis but silk that bindeth thee. Knap the thread and thou art free. But 'tis otherwise with me. I am bound and fast bound, so that from thee I cannot go. If I could, I would not so. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Bubbles by Alfred Cranberg. Read for LibriVox.org by Thomas Peter. You had best be very cautious how you say, I love you. If you accent the I, she has an opening for. Who are you to strut on ahead and hint there aren't others, aren't, weren't, and won't be? Blurt out the love she has suspicion for. So, why not hitherto? What brings you bragging now? And what'll it be hereafter? Defer to the you she has certitude for. Me? Thanks, lad. But why argue about it? Or fancy I'm lonesome? Do I look as though you had to? And having determined how you'll say it, you would next best ascertain whom it is that you say it to. That you're sure she's the one, that there'll never be another, never was one before. And having determined whom, and having learned how, when you bring these together, inform the far of the intimate, like a bubble on a pond, emerging from below, round wonderment completed by the first sight of the sky, what good will it do if she shouldn't, I love you? A bubble's but a bubble once, a bubble grows to die. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Design by Robert Frost. Read for LibriVox.org by Thomas Peter. I found a dimpled spider, fat and white, on a white heel-all, holding up a moth like a white piece of rigid satin cloth. Assorted characters of death and blight, mixed ready to begin the morning right, like the ingredients of a witch's broth. A snowdrop spider, a flower like froth, and dead wings carried like a paper kite. What had that flower to do with being white, the wayside blue and innocent heel-all? What brought the kindred spider to that height, then steered the white moth thither in the night? What but design of darkness to appall, if design govern in a thing so small? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Earth Spirit by William Ellery Channing. Read for LibriVox by Josh Middledorf. Then spoke the Spirit of the Earth, her gentle voice like a soft water's song. None from my loins have ever birth, but what to joy and love belong. I faithful am, and give to thee blessings great, and give them free. I have woven shrouds of air in a loom of hurrying light, for the trees which blossoms bear, and gilded them with shears of bright. I fall upon the grass like love's first kiss. I make the golden flies and their fine bliss. I paint the hedgerows in the lane, and clover white and red the pathways bear. I laugh aloud in sudden gusts of rain, to see the ocean lash himself in air. I throw smooth shells and weeds along the beach, and pour the curling waves far o'er the glassy reach. Swing birds' nests in the elms, and shake cool moss along the aged beams, and hide their loss. The very broad rough stones I gladden too. Some willing seeds I drop along their sides, nourish the generous plant with freshening dew. till there, where all was waste, true joy abides. The peaks of aged mountains, with my care, smile in the red of glowing morn elate. I bind the caverns of the sea with hair, glossy and long, and rich as king's estate. I polish the green ice, and gleam the wall with the white frost, and leaf the brown trees tall. 'Twas so, 'twas thine, earth, thou wast true. I kneel, thy grateful child, I kneel, thy full forgiveness for my sins I sue. My mother, learn thy child can think and feel. Mother dear, wilt pardon one who loved not the generous sun, nor thy seasons loved to hear, singing to the busy year, thee neglected, shut his heart, in thy being had no part. Mother dear, I list thy song in the autumn eve along, now thy chill airs round the day, and leave me my time to pray. Mother dear, the day must come when I, thy child, shall make my home, my long last home, amid the grass, over which thy warm hands pass. Ah me, do let me lie gently on thy breast to die. I know my prayers will reach thy ear, thou art with me while I ask, nor a child refuse to hear who would learn his little task. Let me take my part with thee, in the grey clouds, or thy light, laugh with thee upon the sea, or idle on the land by night. In the trees I will with thee, in the flowers, like any bee. I feel it shall be so. We are not born to sink our finer feelings in the dust, and better to the grave with feelings torn. So in our step strides truth and honest trust, in the great love of things, than to be slaves to forms whose ringing sides each stroke we give stamps with a hollower want. Yes, to our graves hurry, before we in the heavens live, strangers to our best thoughts, and fearing men, and fearing death, and to be born again. End of Earth Spirit. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain.
To the Evening Star by William Blake. Read for LibriVox.org by Phil Schempf. Thou fair-haired angel of the evening, now, whilst the sun rests on the mountains, light thy bright torch of love, thy radiant crown put on, and smile upon our evening bed. Smile on our loves, and while thou dost draw us the blue curtains of the sky, scatter thy silver dew on every flower that shuts its sweet eyes in timely sleep. Let thy west wind sleep on the lake. Speak silence with thy glimmering eyes, and wash the dusk with silver. Soon, full soon, dost thou withdraw. Then the wolf rages wide, and then the lion glares through the dun forest. The fleeces of our flocks are covered with thy sacred dew. Protect them with thine influence. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Every Point of Love is Fair by Leopold Schaefer. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgate Novelist. Every point of love is fair, love is perfect everywhere. Sweet 'tis to see, sweet to be fain, sweet to pursue and to obtain. The memory of love, how loving! The loss of love, how deep and moving! But if of all I had the choosing, my soul were fixed on the refusing. Then doth the unreached but seem to be set at a height more heavenly. Every point of love is fair, love is perfect everywhere. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The First Christmas Apart by Elizabeth Stuart Phelps. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. The shadows which about the house, silent as they, I come. Oh, it is true that life is deaf, and not that death is dumb. The Christmas thrill is on the earth, the stars throb in the sky. Love listens in 1,000 homes, the Christmas bells ring by. I cross the old familiar door and take the dear old chair. You look with desolated eyes upon me sitting there. You gaze and see not, though the tears in gazing burn and start. Believe the living are the blind, not that the dead depart. A year ago some words we said, kept sacred twixt us twain. 'Tis you, poor love, who answer not, the while I speak again. I lean above you as before, faithful my arms enfold. Oh, could you know that life is numb, nor think that death is cold. Senses of earth, how weak ye are! Joys, joys of heaven, how strong! Loves of the earth, how short and sad! Of heaven, how glad and long! Heart of my heart, if earth or heaven had speech or language fine enough, or death or life could give me symbol, sound, or sign, to reach you, thought or touch or eye, body or soul, I'd die again to make you understand, my darling, this is I. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Fountain of Siloam by Robert Murray McShane. Read for LibriVox.org by Devorah Allen. Beneath Moriah's rocky side a gentle fountain springs. Silent and soft its waters glide like the peace the Spirit brings. The thirsty Arab stoops to drink of the cool and quiet wave, and the thirsty spirit stops to think of him who came to save. Siloam is the fountain's name. It means one sent from God, and thus the Holy Saviour's fame it gently spreads abroad. O grant that I, like this sweet well, may Jesus' image bear, and spend my life, my all, to tell how full his mercies are. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Greedy Little Pitchers by Willard Bronte. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. The Greedy Little Pitchers. Now, my pretty little dears, little pitchers have big ears, but never let me hear it said that your mouths are big instead. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
I Am Not Yours by Sarah Teasdale. Read for LibriVox.org by Winston Tharp. I am not yours, not lost in you, not lost, although I long to be, lost as a candle lit at noon, lost as a snowflake in the sea. You love me, and I find you still a spirit beautiful and bright, yet I am I, who long to be lost as a light is lost in light. Oh, plunge me deep in love, put out my senses, leave me deaf and blind, swept by the tempest of your love, a taper and a rushing wind. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Impromptu by John Gould Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Thomas Peter. My mind is a puddle in the street reflecting green Sirius. In thick dark groves, trees huddle, lifting their branches like beckoning hands. We eat the grain. The grain is death. All goes back to the earth's dark mass. All but a song which moves across the plain like the wind's deep muttering breath. Bowed down upon the earth, man sets his plants and watches for the seed. Though he be part of the tragic pageant of the sky, no heaven will aid his mortal need. I find flame in the dust, a word once uttered that will stir again, and a wine cup reflecting Sirius in the water held in my hands. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Jerusalem by William Blake. Read for LibriVox.org by Mary Patterson. And did those feet in ancient time walk upon England's mountains green? And was the Holy Lamb of God on England's pleasant pastures seen? And did the countenance divine shine forth upon our clouded hills? And was Jerusalem builded here among these dark satanic mills? Bring me my bow of burning gold. Bring me my arrows of desire. Bring me my spear. O clouds, unfold. Bring me my chariot of fire. I will not cease from mental fight, nor shall my sword sleep in my hand, till we have built Jerusalem, and England's green and pleasant land. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
L'Envoi by Willa Cather. Read for LibriVox.org by Phil Schempf. Where are the loves that we have loved before, when once we are alone and shut the door? No matter whose arms that held me fast, the arms of darkness hold me at the last. No matter down what primrose path I tend, I kiss the lips of silence in the end. No matter on what heart I found delight, I come again unto the breast of night. No matter when or how love did befall, 'tis loneliness that loves me best of all. And in the end she claims me, and I know that she will stay, though all the rest may go. No matter whose the eyes that I would keep near in the dark, 'tis in the eyes of sleep that I must look and look forevermore, when once I am alone and shut the door. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Lines written on being accused of coldness of character and manners by some friends. 1830. By E.A.S. Read for LibriVox.org by Colleen McMahon. They call me cold, they know me not, nor can they understand the warmth of my affections, by the breeze of kindness fanned. My feelings may not show themselves in countenance or voice, but my heart can weep with those who weep, with those who sing rejoice. My best affections lie concealed, I bring them not to light, for I know that those with whom I dwell can never read them right. But their fountain, though it calmly flow, is warm and full and deep, and the stream of love within my breast, though silent, does not sleep. To all the dearest ties of life I cling most tenderly, and the few whose unbought love is mine compose the world to me. It is not those who feel the most their feelings best express, nor those the most sincerely fond, who with the tongue can bless. The paltry counterfeit may shine with radiance as bright as the costly gem which monarchs wear, may look as pure and white. The artificial rose may glow with a color full as fair as the lovely flower which nature rears in sunshine and in air. 'Tis time and time alone can show the real gem and flower, and time will oft on those we love exert its magic power. It may change the beaming smiles to frowns, kind greetings to disdain, and cause the seeming friend to scorn our poverty and pain. Oh, it is not thus with me, I know, the tide of feeling flows. Affection may not speak in looks, but in my bosom glows, with a warmth which time can never chill, scarce injuries suppress, and my heart responds to every tone of the voice of tenderness. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Little Tree by E. E. Cummings. Read for LibriVox.org by Winston Tharp. Little tree, little silent Christmas tree, you are so little you are more like a flower. Who found you in the green forest, and were you very sorry to come away? See, I will comfort you, because you smell so sweetly. I will kiss your cool bark and hug you safe and tight, just as your mother would. Only don't be afraid. Look, the spangles that sleep all year in a dark box, dreaming of being taken out and allowed to shine, the balls, the chains, red and gold, the fluffy threads. Put up your little arms, and I'll give them all to you to hold. Every finger shall have its ring, and there won't be a single place dark or unhappy. Then, when you're quite dressed, you'll stand in the window for everyone to see, and how they'll stare! Oh, but you'll be very proud, and my little sister and I will take hands, and looking up at our beautiful tree, we'll dance and sing, Noel, Noel. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
London by Anonymous. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. London. Literally translated from a Chinese poem by a Chinese who visited England in 1813. The towering edifices rise story above story, in all the stateliness of splendid mansions. Railings of iron thickly stud the sides of every entrance, and streams from the river circulate through the walls. The sides of each apartment are variegated with devices. Through the windows of glass appear the scarlet hangings, and in the street itself is presented a beautiful scene. The congregated buildings have all the aspect of a picture. In London, about the period of the 9th moon, the inhabitants delight in travelling to a distance. They change their abodes and betake themselves to the country, visiting their friends in their rural retreats. The prolonged sound of carriages and steeds is heard through the day. Then, in autumn, the prices of provisions fall, and the greater number of dwellings, being untenanted, such as require it are repaired and adorned. The spacious streets are exceedingly smooth and level, each being crossed by others at intervals. On either side perambulate men and females. In the centre career along the carriages and horses. The mingled sound of voices is heard in the shops at evening. During midwinter the accumulated snows adhere to the pathway. Lamps are displayed at night along the street sides, their radiance twinkling like the stars of the sky. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Love Song by Harriet Monroe. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Love Song. I love my life, but not too well, to give it to thee like a flower, so it may pleasure thee to dwell deep in its perfume but an hour. I love my life, but not too well. I love my life, but not too well, to sing it note by note away, so to thy soul the song may tell the beauty of the desolate day. I love my life, but not too well. I love my life, but not too well, to cast it like a cloak on thine, against the storms that sound and swell between thy lonely heart and mine. I love my life, but not too well. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Mathematical Problem in Verse by Benjamin Banneker. Read for LibriVox.org by Mary Patterson. A cooper and vintner sat down for a talk, both being so groggy that neither could walk. Says cooper to vintner, I'm the first of my trade. There's no kind of vessel but what I have made. And of any shape, sir, just what you will. And of any size, sir, from a ton to a gill. Then, says the vintner, you're the man for me. Make me a vessel, if we can agree. The top and the bottom diameter define, to bear that proportion as 15:9. 35 inches are just what I crave, no more and no less in the depth will I have. Just 39 gallons this vessel must hold, then I will reward you with silver or gold. Give me your promise, my honest old friend. I'll make it tomorrow, that you may depend. So the next day the cooper his work to discharge soon made the new vessel, but made it too large. He took out some staves, which made it too small, and then cursed the vessel, the vintner and all. He beat on his breast. By the powers, he swore, he never would work at his trade any more. Now, my worthy friend, find out, if you can, the vessel's dimensions and comfort the man. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
My November Guest by Robert Frost. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. My November Guest. My sorrow, when she's here with me, thinks these dark days of autumn rain are beautiful as days can be. She loves the bare, the withered tree. She walks the sodden pasture lane. Her pleasure will not let me stay. She talks, and I am fain to list. She's glad the birds are gone away. She's glad her simple worsted gray is silver now with clinging mist. The desolate, deserted trees, the faded earth, the heavy sky, the beauties she so truly sees, she thinks I have no eye for these, and vexes me for reason why. Not yesterday I learned to know the love of bare November days, before the coming of the snow, but it were vain to tell her so, and they are better for her praise. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Reducers and Oxidisers, from Chemical Jingles for Bunglers, by Arthur Warmald. Read for LibriVox.org. Reducers and Oxidisers. A general form you won't deny, for salts will be M sub X R sub Y. If reduction you perplex, reduce the ratio Y to X. A reducing agent thus converts an X salt into us. To diminish X to Y, sir, you must use an oxidizer. This form OUS and IC supply ye. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A serious man am I, whose every word, by Leopold Schaefer. Read for LibriVox.org by a Newgate novelist. A serious man am I, whose every word and action seeks the better evermore. Long did I muse, and vainly seek to know if better 'twere, beneath stars' golden gleam and trembling blossoms, while the nightingale debars alone the night from silentness, to fall asleep and slumber in thy arms. Or better, when the sickle of the moon reaps silvery paleness from the golden fields of the inflaming morn, and overhead the lark is vocal, in thy arms to wake. A prudent man will choose the safer part. I sink in slumber on thy breast at night, and thou awakest me early in thy arms. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Song of the Old Mother by William Butler Yeats. Read for LibriVox.org by Mary Patterson. I rise in the dawn, and I kneel and blow, till the seed of the fire flicker and glow. And then I must scrub, and bake, and sweep, till stars are beginning to blink and peep. But the young lie long and dream in their bed of matching of ribbons, the blue and the red. And their day goes over in idleness, and they sigh if the wind but lift up a tress. While I must work, because I am old, and the seed of the fire gets feeble and cold. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Sorrow of the Winds by Clark Ashton Smith. Read for LibriVox.org by Colleen McMahon. O winds that pass uncomforted through all the peacefulness of spring, and tell the trees you're sorrowing, that they must mourn till ye are fled. Think ye the Tyrian distance holds the crystal of unquestioned sleep, that those forgetful purples keep no veiled, contentious greens and golds? Half with communicated grief, half that they are not free to pass with you across the flickering grass, mourns each inclined bough and leaf. And I, with soul disquieted, shall find within the haunted spring no peace till your strange sorrowing is down the Tyrian distance fled. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Souls by Fanny Stearns Davis. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Souls. My soul goes clad in gorgeous things, scarlet and gold and blue, and at her shoulder sudden wings like long flames flicker through. And she is swallow fleet and free from mortal bonds and bars. She laughs because eternity blossoms for her with stars. O folk who scorn my stiff gray gown, my dull and foolish face, can ye not see my soul flash down, a singing flame through space? And folk whose earth-stained looks I hate, why may I not divine your souls that must be passionate, shining and swift as mine? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
"'Tis well to walk with a cheerful heart" by Anonymous. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. 'Tis well to walk with a cheerful heart wherever our fortunes call, with a friendly glance, an open hand, and a gentle word for all. Since life is a thorny and difficult path, where toil is the portion of man, we all should endeavor, while passing along, to make it as smooth as we can. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Town and Country by Theocritus, 3rd century B.C. Read for LibriVox.org. Once I would kiss Eunice. Back, quoth she, and screamed and stormed. A sorry clown kiss me? Your country compliments, I like not such. No lips but gentles would I deign to touch. Ne'er dream of kissing me, alike I shun Your face, your language, and your tigerish fun. How winning are your tones, how fine your air, your beard how silken, and how sweet your hair. Pah! You've a sick man's lips, a blackamoor's hand. Your breath's defilement. Leave me, I command. Thrice spat she on her robe, and, muttering low, scanned me with half-shut eyes from top to toe. Brought all her woman's witcheries into play, still smiling in a set, sarcastic way, till my blood boiled, my visage crimson grew with indignation, as a rose with dew. And so she left me, inly to repine, that such as she could flout such charms as mine. O shepherds, tell me true, am I not fair, am I transformed? For lately I did wear grace as a garment, and my cheeks, o'er them ran the rich growth like ivy round the stem. Like fern my tresses o'er my temples streamed, o'er my dark eyebrows white my forehead gleamed. My eyes were of Athene's radiant blue, my mouth was milk, its accents honey dew. Then I could sing, my tones were soft indeed, to pipe or flute, or flageolet, or reed. And me did every maid that roams the fell kiss and call fair, not so this city belle. She scorns the herdsman, knows not how divine Bacchus ranged once the valleys with his kine, how Cyprus, maddened for a herdsman's sake, deigned upon Phrygia's mountains to partake his cares, and wooed and wept Adonis in the brake. What was Endymion, sweet Selene's love? A herdsman's lad, yet she came from above down to green Latmos by his side to sleep. And did not Rhea for a herdsman weep? Didst not thou, Zeus, become a wandering bird to win the love of one who drove a herd? Selene, Cybele, Cypris, all loved swains, Eunice loftier bred, their kiss disdains. Henceforth by hill or hall thy love disown, Cypris, and sleep the livelong night alone. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
What Boots It That the Violet Shy by Leopold Schaefer. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgate Novelist. What boots it that the violet shy so privily doth blow, when every cloud that roams the sky her mystery doth know? The south wind seeks the dim retreat, and steals her breath away, and hurries on with hasty feet to give it to the day. But I, my dear delight, will keep the treasure I have found, and not a curious eye shall peep on all our fairy ground. Nor wrong I thee by this reserve and silence of my lays. What angel is there doth deserve to hearken to thy praise? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.